I would simply like to say that I think this has been one of the great days of America. And I think this march will go down as one of the greatest, if not the greatest, demonstrations for freedom and human dignity ever held in the United States.
I am a civil rights movement baby. I was born in '65, and I am feeling so overwhelmed by the fact that we're here yet again.
Every single time you turn on the news, every single time you go on social media, you see the same thing. And how it makes me feel angry, tired, overwhelmed. It makes me worried for my black brothers and sisters. And more than anything, it just makes me sad. I think that's the most overwhelming feeling because it could be me. You know, who's next? So when I see things like that, it's just like, how much more? How much further? What else can we do?
We are sleeping in a dangerous time.
I joined the march because I've seen so many things from the inside of the police department as well as on the outside. So I'm former law enforcement. I know that you have to change the laws and not just look at the police, because see, the police are only enforcing the laws that are set before them. So we need a government, we need officials that can come in and make those changes. We can't continue to live in the 2000s and we're still living off of 1950 and 1940 laws.
No justice!
No peace!
That's what the we mean. Can't let you forget, Mr. Oppressor, I brought my friends with me. That's right. Let alone just these, it's friends all around the world behind this. So I'm done asking, you gon' tell us. Tell us what the deal is with these predatory police. A doctor and a counselor go to school for years at a university. These hogs go for 19 weeks. Are you kidding me? That's right. Give them a badge and a gun and they around our street.
I'm a mother of 8 children, six boys and 2 girls. Breonna Taylor was killed in my hometown. Like I said, I have 2 daughters. They are Breonna Taylor, but I don't want them to be a Breonna Taylor. I'm sick of the injustice, the inequality, and I wish we could have stopped it in their tracks a long time ago, but we heard now, and we're gonna take it from her.
What do we want? What do we want? When do we want it? When do we want it? When do we want it? When do we want it?
When I heard about the white supremacist domestic terrorist attack in Kenosha, I was sick for a lot of reasons. I think on the heels of the shooting of Jacob Blake, it's a clear distinction of how the police treats our citizens in this country, and that it doesn't matter whether or not you're holding a weapon. Police only see the color of your skin, and I think that is a clear problem in America right now.
There's a right-wing faction in this country that believes the 17-year-old that went across state lines with an illegal firearm was within his rights to defend himself. He shouldn't have been there, and them giving a justification for that is letting me know that there's a lot more work to be done.
It all comes back to white privilege, because he just walked right past the police and they didn't even do anything. They gave him water. But Jacob Blake was trying to stop a fight and he got shot 7 times in the back. And they still handcuffed him to his hospital bed. But he was unarmed. He was obviously hurt. There's nothing he could have done to hurt anybody. He wasn't even trying to hurt anybody.
When I first heard it, I wasn't really surprised, and I'm almost scared because I'm so desensitized, because this is so horrific, but it's come to the point where it doesn't even fully affect me because it's normalized, and we are not seeing any changes in our government or any changes like in private sectors.
In the 1920s in Anaheim, California, the police could go on patrol in their full Klan regalia. In Portland, they had a vigilante auxiliary secret police force that was handpicked by the Klan. Like, they've always been allies with each other, so it's not surprising to see them let him walk past. There was that study done recently that police see a white guy with a gun as a good guy versus, a black guy with a gun, they see him as a threat. So it's so clear what side they've chosen and what side they work for.
The Emancipation Proclamation. This momentous decree came as a great beacon light of hope to millions of Negro slaves who had been seared in the flames of withering injustice. It came as a joyous daybreak to end the long night of their captivity. But 100 years later, the Negro still is not free.
I think a few things have changed, but it's been minimal. It may seem like a lot, but I believe that it's been minimal because the brutality against the black race has not changed, not at all.
I think there's been progress since the last March on Washington, but I think we have a long, long way to go. You know, we had shackles and now we have bullets.
I want the white media to be just in their own way that they're asking other people to do. Because what we recognize is that it is the white media that is also participating in the systemic racism.
Honestly, I see very little change, but change can only happen with us. And when I say that, we have to get out and do our part. We have to vote when it's time to vote. We got to vote local, and we got to vote even in the presidency. We got to vote all the time.
Since the inception of the United States of America, people have been treated as second-class citizens, primarily black people. It's baked into the Constitution with the 3/5 clause. And so no matter what's done in terms of laws, it seems as though there's always going to be a pushback for justice. And I think now is the time to start pushing the other way and to continue that no matter who's in the White House or what kind of concessions are made. We have to keep on going forward. So that's why I'm here.
When the popularity of these protests fade, the racism and the divides in our community are still going to be there. This problem isn't going to be fixed if you're elected into office. Even if you have the most progressive policies, you need to do the work to make change in every community in America.
I do believe votes do count. It starts locally, and then you bring it to the top. You know what I'm saying? So please get out there and vote.
Y'all really need to take in consideration of what's happening to us on the streets, because y'all are in high places. Like, y'all don't come out here and experience what we experience. So y'all really need to think about how we're gonna feel and because of what y'all do.
Think forward. We are in a time in our history where change has to happen, whether it's the Republicans or the Democrats. We have to look at the fact that the people's conscience has made a decision, and that decision is change.
Regardless who wins, we're gonna hold you accountable. To delay is to deny. And I think at this point, the people are tired of waiting. It's been years we've been saying the same thing. The conversation has been had. So it's time for real change, real laws, real things to be passed so that we're truly equal under the law.
I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all